Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. And this is the king of the world speaking, the true king of England, the true king of hell, uh, also known as King the Conqueror, also known as the High Evolutionary. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. Um, so sorry about last night's video. Apparently, the audio was falling off. I hope that it's not going to do the same thing here. Everything was fine until I uploaded it. So I hope everything's fine. So yeah, man, let's talk some more about some fucking sex magic. Let's talk more about fucking sex magic. So um, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? I mean, it's been around for a long time. Sex magic's been around for thousands of years. Practiced by not many, and in the case of, I've stated this before. I feel like sex magic is more. I am going to say something very controversial, and I know you're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And if you disagree, or you have another if you have another opinion about it, please write it down in the comment or make a video about it and tag my video in it so I can see it and everybody else can, and we can have a conversation if that's what you feel like doing. Um, so my controversial thought about sex magic is, well, to be honest, I feel what my this idea that I have, this realization, more or less realization, is stemming from a place where the sex magic is optimized. It's working at peak efficiency, right? And I have to say, I feel like I've stated this before actually about sex magic. I feel like to be able to properly practice sex magic, you have to be in a good space in your life, right? I feel like sex magic, like people that can practice sex magic, or people that might be more financially free than others. I feel like those people can practice sex magic a lot more and a lot better and a lot more efficient, because one of the two in the relationship don't have to worry about anything, right? So it feels like to me, when you are more financially free and you do have a free time on your hands, you're more capable of practicing sex magic. I personally would, if I would practice sex magic, I would practice apocalyptic Opsimath sex magic, which is my magic system that I invented, and I have discovered it, and invented it. I'm doing this on purpose, by the way. You know, so I feel like that I think people that would practice the sex magic that's in my magical system would benefit greatly off of it. And couples too. But you have to understand, if you're a couple, then it's gonna take more time. Your wishes might come true, but if you're like trying to initiate yourself into magic through sex magic, it's gonna take more time because you don't have the time. So it is what it is. Um, I think it's better to, like I said, I know this is controversial and people might not agree, and that's the last thing that people want to hear. But man, money is important. Money is important, man, and like I said, to me, money and sex is the same, like almost, like it's on the, to me anyway, it's on the same platform. Like I wouldn't say one is number one and one is number two. I'd say that they are equally both number one, right? So, um, I've seen actually EA talk about sex magic. No, it was JD. It was either JD or EA that was talking about sex magic the other day, and they said something that is very fucking true. The thing about sex magic is that most of the magic happens. Um, Most of the magic happens before the sex. To be quite honest. Most of the magic happens before the sex. This is like because you can't I feel like the problem today is people underestimate the power of communication, right? People underestimate the power of communication, and it's like, it's very hard to explain to someone that, the biggest part about sex magic is actually what happens before the sex magic. Opinions expressed, the opinion expressed, the ideas and preparation before the sex magic. That's where all the magic happens. You know, um, that's where all the magic happens. That's the most important part. You have to communicate with the partner. You have to say what you want. You have to be on the same. Because the thing about sex magic, if you're practicing sex magic, you're mingling your souls together. You're entangling your soul and spirit together, right? And your soul and spirit and your partner's soul and spirit is different from yours, right? So you have different ideas, and like we've stated before, I think it was last night or my video before that, we've stated that spirit is from the mind, right? Spirit is the mind, right? The spirit and the soul is not something that comes from an alternate dimension of reality. No, it comes from you. You can change your soul and you can change your spirit. If you can change your mind, then everything falls along the lines of you changing your mind. And yeah, you can, if you are a specific person and you decide to change your mind about what type of specific person you are, you have to realize, if you spend a lot of time being that specific person, you're going to face resistance. And you're going to face resistance, but that might not be important or not, depending on what you're doing or who you are, right? And that resistance will, I mean, like, well, who cares? I'm not trying to talk about resistance, because in many cases it might not be as prevalent as in other cases. So, but you have to understand, you're changing your mind. And when you're changing your mind, you're creating a new soul. You're creating a new spirit, right? So you can actually like kind of erase your old soul by juxtaposing a new one over it, right? So anyways, the reason why I'm saying this, because you have to understand that your partner has a different soul than yours. So it is important to make them know what you are trying to do. And also, it is important for your partner to be okay with what you are trying to do, because it can happen that you face resistance in the moment of intercourse. Like you will face resistance. You will feel a discomfort, or your partner, because there is a dance that is going on, right? There is a dance that a little bit advanced, but at some point in your practice, you're gonna notice that this is like a dance. That you're kind of like mentally dancing with your partner, and there could be your partner could pull back from you, kind of, in a sense. You'll feel like there is a discomfort. You'll feel not a not a discomfort that's like she's not enjoying or he's not enjoying the sex, but you can feel, let's say, like you're focused on your wish, you're thinking about your wish, and you're, doing the deed, right? So you're involved, you're entangling yourself with your partner, and you're noticing that, okay, every time I think about this, there's like a slight sting, there's like a slight pain, there's a slight there's something, no, it's not working, right? And this doesn't change the sex. I mean, the sex is going to be fine, but you're going to notice that you're not receiving the same answer. You're not receiving a positive answer, right? This is because the person is not in line with what you want, right? And if the person wasn't in line with what you want, then, this would be great. It would work. So this is the reason why most of the magic happens before having sex. Most of sex magic happens before the sex, right? Most of the preparation, all that communication, all that, saying what you want and the other person want, blah, 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 blah. All that is the actual magic. And then you bind, like I said before, in apocalyptic Opsimath magic system that I created and invented. You when I do a ritual, the sex actually binds the ritual together, right? So it's the same thing when you're practicing set magic. You're communicating, you're saying blah, blah, blah. Let's say like the communication is the ritual, and then you proceed to the bedroom, and it binds the demands that is asked, and you can manifest anything. I think it's very powerful. I think it's very powerful. I think you can manipulate. I think not manipulate. I think you can manifest anything that you want through sex magic. I would be very surprised that you cannot. Right. And then there's like solo sex magic. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of solo sex magic. I don't see it as powerful as physical sex magic. I don't see it as powerful as actual sex magic. It's not. I really don't think it is. Like and trust me, I've tried. I'm not gonna say how many times, because then I'm just gonna look gross. But but I've tried. It's not as powerful. It's a bit. I don't like it. It's not. I don't. No. It's not part of the apocalyptic Opsimath magic system. I don't encourage it. I don't promote it. It's useless. Compared, I mean, it might work a little bit, but compared to actual physical sex magic with a partner, with a willing and consented partner, it's way below. It's way down. It's 6 feet under. It's not comparable. Like the amount of power is uncomparable. It's like minuscule, right? It's small, right? So, but hey, there's some people that think they can make that work. I don't see how. But it is what it is. I don't know. I don't. It's garbage. I think it's garbage, to be quite honest. That's my honest opinion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think it's garbage. Maybe for a woman, it would work more, because a woman's womb is powerful. The penis the male genitalia is not where males get all of their power from. Males actually get all of their power from their minds more than the male genitalia. The female genitalia is different. They get all their power from their sexual organs more than their minds, which is weird because we act completely opposite in real life. Like, dudes think that their penis is all the power, and the women think that their mind is all the power, but it's actually contrary. In the female, in the female spirituality, the female reproductive organs are actually insanely overpowered, omega level, fucking, you know, a reality bending reality bending power levels, bro. X-Men for life, you know what I mean? And but dudes actually they're actually way more powerful mentally than with their sexual organs, you know. Like the male mind is ridiculous. That's the male mind is OP, bro. It's like overpowered. It's like omega level shit. It's Galactus reality bending shit, right? Like, so it's quite interesting. So maybe for a female, like, you know, solo sex magic is more powerful, or more, how do I more worth the while, you know. But for a male, I would not suggest it. From my experience anyways, it's minuscule. Like it's minuscule, and it takes, like, manifestation doesn't take that much time. When you do it right, when you do all the proceedings that you have to do, and mind you, manifestation is a lot more than just that little 100 booklet called The Secret. Like, there's a lot of shit that you have to do in order to manifest. Like, you know, your vision board, and then there's you gotta do your vision board. You gotta do the what's it called? The affirmations. You're gonna need affirmations. You're gonna need a vision board. It's affirmation. You have to write. You have to write what you want, and then you actually have to read what you want, and then you have to, like, so there's a lot of things you have to make sure that your environment is full of what you want. You have to make sure that you're focused on what you want, and you have to be like that until you feel like throwing up, until you're fucking tired of what you want, and then you got to take a break, and then you got to do it again, right? Or in some cases, because sometimes you overdo it on your manifestation so much that you're kind of like, okay, I'm repulsed by this, but actually the reason why you're repulsed by it is because you have guilt of having that, because you think we have this natural guilt thing going on in our minds that's kind of like, if I get $1 million, I feel guilty for it. Feels like you're stealing money somehow, right? Like, it feels like you're stealing something somehow, so you tend to delve in guilt. And if that's the case, then you should continue doing it until you don't feel that anymore. But in some cases, it's not guilt. It's because you've done that for like 2 weeks straight, nonstop, and now you're just you just feel repulsed by it. This is repugnant, right? And then you have to stop for a minute, and then you got to start over again. But more or less, this process shouldn't take that much time. When you're trying to manifest, it shouldn't take that much time. And dare I say, masturbation sex magic practice, it takes way too much time. It's not worth it. It's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of fucking time, because you could, if you do it the traditional way, you could get whatever you're looking for way faster. So male solo masturbation sex magic is completely and utterly useless. Useless. Like to me, yes, I'm being a little bit brash on purpose here, but maybe it's a little bit of disappointment that's making me say this that way. But it's just, it isn't. It's not. Like, I don't get it. It's not. It's just not. It's not worth it. Like, I can manifest way faster by doing it the old-fashioned way than that. So why would I try? Like, what's the point? Right? So anyway, but for females, it could be different. Like I said before, for females, it could be different because females are way more powerful from their loins than anywhere else. So, and female reproduction organ is it's its own universe within itself. It's vastly more powerful, like vastly. It's uncomparable. Like your penis compared to her vagina, she's gonna win, right? She's gonna win, bro. There's no challenge. It's not even a challenge. It's not even. Don't even try. Like, just let it be. Just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go, man. Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, yesterday we talked about the master and slave type of sex magic, which is obviously the coolest and the most awesomest, and also capable of tremendous, incredible, ridiculous forms of magic. Because now we're talking about possession, right? Now, in the apocalyptic Opsimath, I mean, I guess Christians can do it too. I guess you could tame. I guess if you were a Christian and you practice sex magic the apocalyptic Opsimath way, you could trap an angel inside of your partner's body. I would be very surprised if it didn't work. I'm pretty sure it would. Of course, I'm not an angel kind of person, but I think it would. I think it would work. I think you could literally trap God inside of your partner if you wanted to. Be very easy. Anyway, so in the apocalyptic Opsimath version, which I created and discovered, you can there's spells. Well, there's the slave master relationship is incredibly powerful because you can not only manifest whatever you want, but it's also good for invoking spirits and you can mirror. I know people love mirrors nowadays, so you can mirror other realities if you want, right? You can change yourselves. Like, you can become a billionaire, you can become a god, you can become Zeus, you can become Hermes, whatever. You can become whoever the fuck you want, right? You can be another version of Satan. You can change yourself, or you can change your partner, right? So you can mirror somebody's life through that sex magic, this apocalyptic Opsimath version of sex magic. Which I've discovered and created. That's my technique. That's my technique. That's what I've discovered. I created that. That comes from me. There's nobody else on earth that practices this kind of magic or even knows that it exists. So, but what you can do in apocalyptic Opsimath sex magic, in the version of master slave. The master slave technique is actually a mirror. It's actually a mirror. You're creating a mirror by doing that, and you're kind of like, the process is, so I guess I'm going to give you one of my techniques in apocalyptic Opsimath right now. I'm going to give you one of my techniques. If you do have a master and slave relationship, what you're creating here is you're creating a mirror. But in order to create that mirror, you will have to forget who you are. You have to forget who you are, and the person has to forget who they are, right? So, well, if you have a master and a slave relationship, you already did that, kind of. That shit is in the past. But it depends, because people are different, and there's different types of master and a slave relationship. Not everybody's a fucking, demonologist and shit. So, like, not everybody's a fucking demonologist. So, anyways, when you do have a master and slave relationship, what you want to do in order to create the mirror, then you have to remove everything from your space. So you have to get rid, you have to change. You have to undo the change that already happened. Yeah, basically. So you have to remove everything from your vicinity. You have to let go of what's it called in the Bible? What Jesus used to say about, you have to give up all of your personal belongings. So what I'm saying is, you have to clear the space, right? You have to clear the space. Of course, I work with demons when I practice this sort of sex magic, but you can obviously, you can do it with anything. You don't have to put necessarily a demon in it. I would suggest to put a demon in it, because demons are awesome, and they're cool, and they're smart, and they're intelligent, and and they know what they're doing, and they're not crazy, and so on and so on. But let's say that you just heard what I just said, and your first idea is, well, shit, I want to be a fucking billionaire. That's possible. That is very possible. Yes. Yes, but if you do want to be a billionaire and you're practicing this kind of sex, you mind you, it's a great gift and it's a great opportunity. So you removing posters, your Lamborghini poster in your room, and fucking Captain America fucking miniatures, your Captain America miniatures from your room, it's not a big deal. It's a small sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying if you have figurines and they're fucking expensive, put them somewhere else. Or you know what I mean? Like, don't throw them in the fucking garbage. If that's just expensive, and you're gonna be rich one of these days. So you might not want to do that. Just in case. You know what I mean? But mind you, clear the space. Remove as much clutter. Not the important things, not the things that matter, right? Because that Captain America figurine might actually matter. You might have it for 10, 20 years and shit like that. Don't remove shit that actually matter to you, right? Remove shit that's unnecessary. Because those unnecessary things are what ifs. Pardon the pun. Those unnecessary clutter are what ifs. I mean, you already have a character, you already have a personality, but you're kind of like, you have things also around you that kind of like, well, maybe one day I'm gonna do this, so I have that just in case, right? So remove those things from your space. Make as much room as you possibly can, for this adventure, because it's gonna be an adventure. It's an adventure at the end of the day. Make as much room as you possibly can for that, and dare I say, make your space, make the space where you're going to create that magic as much of a temple of what you want than anything else. So change your fucking bed. If you want to be a fucking billionaire, buy yourself a new goddamn bed, right? This is like a vision board, right? I'm not saying your bed sucks or some shit like that. No, I'm saying you're creating a a real life vision board. You're creating a 3D, a three-dimensional vision board, right? So instead of having a vision board, throw that shit out too. It's fucking ugly. Nobody wants to fucking have sex looking at that shit. Throw that shit out. Buy yourself some nice sheets. Buy yourself nice sheets. Change your bed. Get a better bed. Get a bed that entrepreneur would get. That means not those massive 6'5" fucking super comfy beds. Like, no, absolutely not. No, get a bed that touches the ground, a large one that touches the ground, because you're gonna have sex. So you don't want that banging, that fucking that shit sucks. Get that shit out of here. It's annoying. Get that shit out of here. Buy your bed that touches the ground. A nice one. It can be big, but make sure it touches the ground. With a nice ground underbed, a nice ground touching underbed, whatever they call that shit. I'm not sure. I don't remember. That's some rich nigga shit. That's real rich nigga shit. There's some rich niggas that love big 6'5" fucking clouds to sleep on. There are some rich people that like that. That's their issue. That's their business. I feel like the people that are like that is probably because they don't have a lot of shit to do in their lives. I don't know. But me personally, I don't like 6'5" cloud beds. It's crazy. How the fuck am I supposed to get out of this and make some money when the shit is a fucking massive cloud? Like you're sleeping on a massive cloud 9 cloud. Like you don't feel like getting up and doing shit. You feel like staying in bed all fucking day, which is bad, which is not a good thing, especially if you want to be a billionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, I mean, I did say making money is easy, but you got to work. You got to feel like you got to play the game. You got to play the game. It's easy, but you still have to play the game, and it doesn't help. If you don't feel like getting up and doing your phone calls and drinking your coffee, eating because the thing about the magic behind being a billionaire, like everything else, is what happens before you start working. The magic doesn't happen when you're working. It happens before you work, right? So, a real millionaire lifestyle is nice fucking breakfasts, right? Fucking avocados, some fruit bowls, shit like that. Like, coffee in the morning, right? Shit like that. That's your ritual. That's your morning ritual. That's what's gonna make the magic happen. Nice shower, So you got to do the same thing with your space, right? And if you can extend this ideology outside of your bedroom, do so, but do so in a comfortable fashion. Like, don't go overboard, don't over fucking do it and just fucking throw everything in your house out. Change the things that you feel could be changed, or input things that you feel you could input. Like one important thing, another trick that I'm gonna give you, because I feel like I haven't given a lot of tricks recently. So I've been talking shit. I've been talking about how great I am for at least 2 weeks. So anyway, that's not true. Anyway, so one of the things that I would implement is a waterfall. Get yourself a waterfall, right? Get yourself a waterfall. Waterfalls are expensive though, but you can get a good fountain waterfall for like $200, right? I'm pretty sure you can on Amazon. I actually no, I haven't seen waterfalls on Amazon. Maybe I did, but I kind of feel that they didn't have any. I would have to check. I don't know. I might be talking shit, but I know big waterfalls are around $200. Like a really nice waterfall that's not too expensive, too crazy. You can get one for $200 or $300, I think. It's important. It's important. Waterfalls are important. Waterfalls. And that's another thing that if you like, you're really into laws of attraction, that you're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn that waterfalls are fucking important, and it works. It works. And what's going on with the waterfall is that it's telling the universe to let the money flow, to let flow happen, right? It's telling the universe to let flow happen. It's really it's attracting flow to you, right? Because everything is a mirror, right? Like we'll say, everything is a fucking mirror, right? So if you put a waterfall in your house, it's another way of communicating with the universe that you are wishing for flow, right? And flow is the contrary of blockage, right? So if you don't have money and you want money, you put a waterfall in your house, then you're asking for flow. You are putting yourself in the energy of flow and not in the energy of blockage, right? So that's why waterfalls are a very important tool in wanting to remove blockages, right? Especially concerning currency, right? So, man, I strayed up so far from what I'm saying. So, anyways, like I said, this mirror magic, this billionaire mirror magic that you're trying to create, right, through sex magic, through this thing, like I said, like, so you have to understand that you're removing the self. The self is unimportant. The self is not important anymore, right? Of course, you have to remain dominant or submissive. That is the one thing that needs to happen. But within that dominant submissive ideal, you have to overlap an entity. And what I mean by entity is not by calling Flash or blah blah blah, calling Hermes or Lucifer. That's not what I mean. You have to overlap an entity on top of the relationship. So you're copy pasting. You're basically copy pasting, right? So this billionaire lifestyle. So now you're copy pasting billionaire lifestyle over the relationship, right? So you're attaching those two things together. So now both of you are living and doing what you're doing in order, and you're mirroring this life. So you both, you're both basically mirroring, well, have to mirror this life, right? So just as much as you have to be focused on luxury and shit, your partner also does, right? Well, the dominant person has to focus on that, and the submissive person has to follow through, right? And there's a thing about submissiveness and dominance that is important, but I'm not going to talk about online. So basically, I want you to fail, so in order for you to come see me, and then I'll reveal more. and then I'm gonna reveal more, because this is my technique. This is my personal technique, and a magician never reveals all of his tricks. But if you do this simple trick, you will notice a vast difference, right? You'll see a vast difference, and you will be closer to that, right? You will be closer to that. I don't want to guarantee here, but there's a 90%, 98% chance that you will be closer to your wish fulfillment by using this process, if you are in that kind of relationship, right? So like I said, this technique comes from Apocalyptic Opsimath. This is my magical technique that I have discovered and created. right? You're not going to see this in any books. There's no other magicians that can tell you this. There's no other magicians that know about this. Nobody knows about this. I created this. All right. So, um, so yeah, I hope I explained that well. I might have over explained it, so I'm gonna recap here real quick. And yeah, there's some other steps too, but like I said, I'm not gonna give. I feel like the energy, there's a presence in my room that's kind of like, it feels like it's kind of telling me to shut the fuck up. So I'm not gonna say. I don't know. I just have like, I feel like a monkey on my back, like just telling me shut up, shut the fuck up, shut up. So anyways, but I am going to recap what I just said. If you are in a dominant, submissive relationship, and you want to practice sex magic, and you want to create like some really powerful sex magic, I feel like it's very possible to do. And what you should do is you have to do a personal process. You have to accept a personal. It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But of course, people don't like to change. You know, people don't like to change, and people don't like to, because it's scary. The changing is scary. You know, it's scary. And when you change, well, this is okay. So this is what the monkey on my back is right now. I feel like it might be. It's easy for me to say, oh well, you just have to throw away yourself and just throw yourself in the garbage and start all over. And you know, that might be an oversimplification, because it's true that if you've been a certain way, then you have friends that are a certain way, and they're not going to understand it, right? Your family or your friends are not gonna understand this change. They're gonna notice, even if you don't say it. They're gonna notice. They're gonna notice that you changed. They're gonna notice that you're more serene, because it does, when you're going through a process of elimination, you become more serene, because you're nothing. You're not a thing. You're not attached to a thing, and you're not a thing, right? So now you're nothing. So now you become serene, and when you become serene, that's when people notice that you're changing. You know, because usually you're not serene. Usually you're that, or you're this, right? But now they're noticing that you're not that, and you're not this. So like you're too serene. So what the fuck is going on? So you know, you don't even need to tell them. They'll just notice, right? And I feel like most people are afraid of that, because people don't want to lose their friends. You know, whoever their friends are, they don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to ruffle feathers. You know, they don't want to, because you would think being nothing would not attract attention, right? You don't want to be seen, but actually it's the contrary, because everything else around you is not serene. Of course, you're attracting attention. There's nothing serene around you. You were not serene, and you was working perfectly fine in society a moment ago, right? So why would they not notice? Why would everyone not notice a person walking by that's fucking serene? It's kind of weird. To everybody else, it's weird, right? Because there's nobody else serene walking up in here. So yeah, you have to be ready to go through this specific kind of happening, right? The specific kind of event in your life. It will happen. It does happen. And if you notice, if you can read between the lines, I am saying sex magic can, I wouldn't say make you a better person. I wouldn't go as far as making you a better person. I think actually JD and J.S. Garrett the other day actually said this. Actually said that. I guess it kind of would make you a better person, kind of. You know, but mind you, it's easy to say that, but you have to be with a partner that is willing to experience this with you, because you know, if your partner is jealous or overzealous or just plain old mean, you know, then that's not gonna work, you know. And it's very rare to find that kind of relationship. It's a rare type of relationship. You know, and of course it's everybody's fucking fantasy, but there's a little bit of work involved in having that. There's a little bit of work in maintaining and having that sort of relationship. You know what I mean? There has to be safety, there has to be trust, there has to be safety, there has to be cautiousness, there has to be, you know, there no pun intended, no offense, man, but it's a delicate flower that you're growing. Right? It's a very delicate flower that you're growing, and it can get stopped on. It can get very easily stopped on, and flowers are not fucking tanks. You know, like, flowers are not tanks, bro. Like, it's very easy to crush a flower. Pardon me for saying, you know what I mean? It's not easy to kill the flower, but it's easy to stop on it, right? So yeah, man, you know, you have to be careful when you're doing these kinds of things. And yes, there are going to be some changes and stuff like that. And like I said, I want you to fail, so like that you come and see me and you can give me your money in order for me to explain to you how this properly works. Because this is my personal magic system that I have developed and I have created, you know. So yeah, man, and I can show it to you. And if I tell you everything, that there won't be a fucking, if I tell you everything right now, there won't even be a reason for you to keep watching my fucking YouTube channel. So that would be fucking stupid on my part to do that. So I'm gonna stop the video right here. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you whenever I see you. Have a good one. Peace out.